What up, Mikey's crew? It's your good friend Michael here. You can tell I am wearing championship gear from the Chicago Cubs. Now, it's not the same championship gear that they had when they were on TV that you saw when they won it. A little different. Mine looks like a regular, just, Cubs hat that, all the players wear. It's got Chicago written on the back. It's got the New Balance logo. However, on the side it says 2016 World Series champions. And the shirt is different too. This isn't the one where it had like the World Series trophy on it. This one, let me get a little closer here, says it happened 2016 World Series champions with the Cubs logo. And I really like it. I really like this shirt better than what the other one was. And I really like the hat too. Because it looks like, just a regular Chicago Cubs hat. So I wanted to do a video unveiling my Cubs championship gear. Because it just arrived in the mail. No joke. I ordered it like the day after they won the World Series, and it's like 3 weeks later, probably. And since they won, and I finally, got the gear. So I'm really happy to have it. It's the last warm day in Michigan, probably too, to tell you the truth, before the bad weather comes in. So I'm glad I can go outside and wear this and not have to worry about wearing a coat today. So that's great. Also, I wanted to give my reflections on Game 7. I kind of, I probably should have done this like the day after the game, but I figured, you know what? I wanted to do it with the unveiling of the championship gear I got. So why don't we just talk about Game 7 today? So during the series, the Cubs got down 3-1. It went back to Cleveland after they won Game 5, and it was 3-2. Indians fans are probably still very confident, thinking all we got to do is win 1 out of 2 here at home. We're World Series champions, first time since 1948. However, I was thinking, you know what? The Cubs are starting to see these Indians pitchers a lot more often because they were basically going with a 3-man rotation instead of the 4-man rotation due to injury. And I was thinking, well, they're seeing these guys a lot more often. They're going to start noticing things and start playing well. And they did. They won Game 6 then. And then in Game 7, they're facing Corey Kluber, which, Indians fans are still thinking, we're pretty confident here. Kluber's done very well in both starts against the Cubs, and we probably expect the same thing. And here I am thinking again, the Cubs have seen him twice. They're seeing him now a third time. They probably studied all the film on him over the past 2 games that they saw him, and we're thinking, I think we got a decent shot. And, of course, opening at bat, Dexter Fowler hits a leadoff home run, and I'm thinking, yeah, here we go. Curse is going to be over tonight. Well, I wasn't really thinking of that at that point. I'm thinking, okay, we're up 1-0. Great start. Indians tied up a couple of innings later, 1-1, and I'm thinking, oh no, maybe that's going to be the Cubs' only run. This isn't going to work out well. But then they're able to build a 5-1 lead, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. We're getting closer and closer and closer to this possibly, curse being over. Kyle Hendricks is on the mound. He's doing very well, only giving up that 1 run. John Lester's warming up in the bullpen. Of course, they're ready for, anything. Hendricks ends up walking an Indians batter. And that walk shouldn't have been a walk. It should have been, there should have been a strike 3 called on during that at bat, and there wasn't. And if you looked at the Fox tracks, it was a strike that Hendricks threw, and it wasn't called strike 3. And a couple pitches later, he ends up walking the Indians batter. Well, John Madden goes out and brings in John Lester then, who's warming up the bullpen, and the announcers had been all talking about that Lester wasn't going to come into the game unless it was in a clean inning, meaning no runners were going to be on base. It was going to be the beginning of an inning as well. Well, they bring him in, and as soon as that happens, David Ross comes in as well because David Ross always catches for John Lester. And, first batter, Lester throws a ball in the dirt and ends up hitting Ross in the mask. Ross stumbles, falls backwards. Not just allowing the run on third to score, but the run on second, and now it's 5-3 Cubs lead. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, here's the start of it all falling apart. Lester gets out of the inning. Next inning, Ross is up, hits a solo home run to center. 6-3 Cubs lead. Now I'm thinking, okay, we got the momentum back going again. I know we just had what? Oh, geez, look who just showed up in the picture. The kitty. Kitty, look, you're on camera. Oh, didn't like that, obviously. So after the 6-3 lead, Lester comes out a couple innings later. They bring in Chapman in, and that was in the 8th inning, I believe, with like 5 outs to go. Chapman had been used quite a bit during the series. In fact, in Game 5, he'd been used, I think, to get the last 9 outs. And this guy's a closer. Well, he was pretty worn out because 2 men on base, Rajay Davis up, and there's only 1 more out, I think, needed in the 8th inning. And Davis hits a 3-run home run. Well, as soon as he hit it, I'm like, oh gosh, that's going to be out. And then I fell on the floor. I'm thinking, this is over. It's over. The Cubs are going to blow it. The curse is alive. Where's the Billy Goat? Steve Bartman somewhere. Everything is just going wrong. Well, then Cubs come up in the 9th. They don't do anything. Chapman still remains in the game in the 9th. Gets the Cubs batters out. And so then a rain delay happens. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how long am I going to be staying up for? Am I going to be up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? I mean, I got to work early in the morning here. What's going to happen? I'm going to stay up no matter what happens. I'm just going to stay up till this game is over. Well, the rain delay only lasted like 15, 20 minutes, which was great that it was such a short time. Started up like just after midnight. It might have been half an hour that the rain delay really lasted. But I really thought, okay, this is good. All the Indians' momentum now is gone. Any momentum they had is completely lost. Jason Hayward called a meeting in the Cubs clubhouse. They ended up rallying together. I really thought that the rain delay helped calm the Cubs down too, because their nerves now were starting to run rampant with that game being tied, with it being on the road, with it being Game 7 of the World Series. All those factors are coming into play. And, that I think that the meeting and the rain delay, I think, helped calm everything down, reset everything as well. Because then in the 10th, of course, the Cubs, Ben Zobrist, gets a single, gets in a run. And then Miguel Montero brings in another run. And the Cubs have a 2-run lead now heading to the bottom of the 10th inning. And 10th inning, Carl Edwards Jr. comes on. They get 2 outs. It's 1 out away. And then the Indians get a hit. And then they get another hit that brings in a run. And I'm thinking, my gosh, this game just can't end. And, oh, geez, it's not looking good at this point. I'm thinking Indians are going to end up tying this game up. We're going to go to the 11th. And then the next batter comes up and ends up, grounding to Chris Bryant, who throws to Anthony Rizzo. And Bryant, I think, kind of slipped a little bit on the play, and Rizzo catches it, who said his emotions were just off the charts during the game. Catches it. Cubs win the World Series first time since 1908. I jumped up in the air, was ecstatic, and then I kind of buried my head a little bit in my hands and was thinking, I can't believe it that this happened. It happened. Fly the W. Do everything. World Series. Give him the trophy. Give him the trophy. Oh, I'm just had to compose myself. Did cry a little bit. I'm only 28 years old. It's not like, I'm somebody who's been, 70, 80 years old who's never seen, the Cubs win, and it's been their whole life, for them. For me, it's basically some of the shortest time, 28 years. And, when did I start, really watching games? Probably not until I was like 10 years old, really, when I really started getting interested in sports. But, we don't have to end up, worrying and talking about all, winter long, Joe Maddon's pitching, fiasco. Should he have not removed Kyle Hendricks? Should he have, not putting Chapman in the game. And I was saying at the time, too, when Hendricks was out, I'm like, is it good that he came out? I kind of have a bad feeling about this. I didn't have a bad feeling, really, when Chapman went in. I was thinking, okay, he's going to throw lights out and we're going to get out of here with the World Series. But, it was always lingering in my head, when are the Indians going to come back? It's just because that curse had lasted so long. And now that the curse of the Billy Goat is over, the Cubs have won their first World Series since 1908. Back to the Future is only off by 1 year, by the way. Talk about that. Now, all the pressure's off. All that pressure of 108 years is off from all the fans, all the players that, all the fans that never saw it, all the players that never won it before. They're all celebrating now. And, they don't have to worry anymore about when are the Cubs going to win. Because now I think they'll play even looser than what they had this year and have a chance to even go out next year and end up winning the World Series again, possibly. I mean, I don't see why they couldn't. Maybe get a few different players on the team, a few new ones, maybe to replace some that leave, and you probably could be back in the exact same situation next year, except we're not worrying about curses. We're not worrying about, Steve Bartman blowing it. I know it wasn't his fault. It was, the Cubs failed to execute in that game in 2003 to move on from Game 6 there. It wasn't about Steve Bartman. Yeah, everyone can blame him, but, that can all be forgiven now. And Cubs won. Well, I don't know what else to say. I think I said it all. It happened. All right? It's not a dream. It really did happen. So, and if you go back and watch my baseball preview show at the beginning of this baseball season, I predicted the Cubs would win the World Series. I did say it would be against the Royals, though, but I predicted they would do it, and they would snap that curse, and they've done it. So, congrats, Chicago Cubs, 2016 World Series champions. I even saw somebody here in Richland fly the W, which I thought was awesome to see. I was so happy when I saw that the next day that someone here was flying it. I went out the next day actually in town to try to get Cubs gear. No place had it, so that's why I had to order it online, and it took me so long to get. So, when I went in and asked actually at one store, by the way, I went into Champ Sports in the mall, and I said, hey, do you guys have any Cubs championship gear? They smiled at me and said, no, I'm sorry, we don't, but congrats on winning. And it's like, I'm just a fan, but thanks anyways, yeah. I thought that was funny. So that's it. That ends the story. So drop a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. What was your favorite moment from the baseball season? Favorite moment about the Cubs season as well? I know it had to be, winning the World Series tops it, but what was your other favorite moment from the Cubs season or any part of the baseball season if you're a fan of another team? So good luck to everybody next year. Y'all have a chance. Everyone's 0-0 right now. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel for more content. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are in the description below. And until next time, this is Michael Loud, and over and out. Mikey's crew, you guys are the best. Take care, and once again, tip my cap to the Chicago Cubs, breaking that 108-year-old curse. See you guys.